Oh my god. Okay, we need to talk about the KIELY Rodnni case. What I asked for in the last snippet of information that we got from whenever Squirrel Girl did an interview with Nick the Roadside Guy, allegedly did an interview with Nick the Roadside Guy, I said, let's see the GPS. Because even if he no longer had the work phone, because he works for a different company now, supposedly, his personal phone would still have tracked him. Because your phone tracks you everywhere. You have to go in and physically turn it off or it just tracks you. Well, here it is. Holy crap. Here it is. He was at BOCA, or at least it shows his line goes through BOCA, and then he made 15 separate stops on August the 6th, on Saturday. And this is apparently the GPS that was shown to Adventures with Purpose. So, if that is the truth, and timestamps and GPS locations were given to Adventures with Purpose along with this story, and that's what led them to BOCA, I understand them going to BOCA. But this just pisses me off more that they're not releasing more footage. Hello? If this is legitimate, okay, like, because I can't say this is real. I can't say that Squirrel Girl's really talking to Nick because I don't know that. I just never have gotten the vibe from Squirrel Girl that I've gotten from plenty of other creators, okay? I have never gotten the vibe from her that I needed to be worried or question what she said to me. Now, I might come across something that she says something about that I don't know anything about, and I might question it, and she is like, has no issues answering questions. Like the other day, she posted something about the reward stuff for KIELY. Okay, guys, did y'all know this? Listen to this shit, okay? So y'all know whenever Jared Lysick's charges came out, okay, Ryan Upchurch came online for the first time in a while, and he was like angry. He was angry. And he was like basically demanding his $100,000 back because he gave them the equivalent in money that the Hellcat was worth, is what we were originally told. Okay, like no one wanted to come and get the car. There was no car situation. And then all of a sudden, Ryan was supposed to do like a theme song or whatever, write one of the options for a theme song for Adventures with Purpose. And then he just kind of like disappeared off the map when it came to covering anything about KIELY. Well, then we heard that $100,000 got donated, okay? And no one ever said Ryan wasn't a man of his word. So when he said he was going to donate the money, even after all the crazy, like I knew he was still going to do it. But what Squirrel Girl has released recently is that while, yes, there was a $100,000 donation made to Adventures with Purpose, that Doug also was given the car. That Doug was given the car. Doug came and picked up and drove away in the Hellcat. And it wasn't like a vehicle that was going to be for like Adventures with Purpose to all share. I mean, it's a race car. That'd be kind of weird. But it was like actually given to Doug, and it is Doug's car now. Just drove away in the sunset in the Hellcat. And then it's interesting, too, because whenever Ryan is going off about wanting his $100,000 back, he actually says in his video, and I don't even know if it's still up. I don't pay attention to Ryan's channel. I had heard that he had heard through the grapevine about the charges and had said something, so I just went to go see what he was saying. And I distinctly remember him saying that he did not donate the money to a fund that was labeled as AWP or any sort of organizational related thing. That the money was donated directly through wherever wire, some sort of bank transfer, I'm guessing, straight to Jared. The $100,000 went straight to Jared. It didn't actually get donated to Adventures with Purpose so that Ryan could actually count it on his taxes as a tax break for charity. None of that. It was given, like, transferred straight to Jared. And he gave Doug the Hellcat? That's weird, isn't it? Is that weird? That's weird. But if this is legit, if this is real, if this is really Nick that Squirrel Girl has been conversing with, has kept his story. I mean, I know his details were a little bit misconstrued, guys, but not really. Not really. I think a lot of people, me included, look, this video is going to be everywhere. This is not going to be one of my normal videos. I was more convinced that the fire cam footage was real more than anything else, because to me, it was more in my brain theory-wise that they knew where she was, and because law enforcement knows how evidence works, they knew that if they left her in there, then evidence wouldn't be as strong as it would have needed to be if they didn't care about who would be in trouble. I feel like they left her there, oh my God, they left her there so that evidence could be degraded on purpose. Because look at the autopsy and the toxicology results, okay? Her decomp levels when it came to the ethanol were like the exact same as it would have been naturally. They slipped up even telling us that, to be honest, because everyone has been telling us for all this time that she was some drunk driver, but then you're telling me that her alcohol levels are the same as they would have been at the time of the toxicology and autopsy without her even had been drinking. So then how high could her levels have possibly been before she went into the water if it's all the same? That doesn't make any sense. Now, I don't know how many of y'all listened to the interview that she had done with him. Now, it's not his voice. He's not comfortable with that, apparently. And like I said, this is like all allegedly. This is all allegedly. And I don't know what it would take in order for Nick the roadside guy to like come out and do an interview with someone and actually come on camera and speak his truth like publicly. Because look, us talking like this, I'm not trying to say that what Squirrel Girl's doing isn't great, because finding all this information is fantastic. Fantastic. But if he's not coming out to like a main media source, if he's not reaching out to a big organization, I mean, all the mainstream medias are all bought and they all suck. So I don't know. Icked Mel, maybe Icked Mel. Plunder could talk to him. Grizzly could talk to him. Somebody who has a real standing and a real audience and a real following that he could trust and that people would listen to. If he would show his face and come on and do an interview with his voice and his words talking about all of this, then maybe AWP would release their damn footage. Because if this is legitimate, okay, if this is legit and this is really a GPS tag of him being in BOCA, driving through BOCA, being in BOCA on August the 6th, and he's claiming that he saw Kylie, her SUV, and a male that he did not identify, because remember, the information got misconstrued and like switched up in the interview from what he's claiming the reality was. In the AWP stuff, he definitely by photo recognized the male, definitely knew that it was the same kind of vehicle, but was iffy on the girl. But when he talks to Squirrel Girl, it's all the opposite, that he was for sure on the girl, iffy on the dude, didn't recognize him from anything, only recognized a hat that was in the photos that was shown to him, which means they probably showed him a picture of Jagger, and he only recognized the very popular in that area SF hat, or whatever it is, the black baseball cap, but didn't recognize Jagger's face. But he's claiming that he definitely 100% recognized Kylie. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, her two friends look like her. Well, for one, they weren't friends because they all abandoned her. And for two, no, they don't. They don't. Kylie looked like a freaking little light fairy. Sammy don't look like that. Their facial structures and stuff do not match. You can tell facial differences. I don't know if you guys have actually gone over to Squirrel Girl's channel and listened to the videos, but I'm going to have a link to the one with the GPS that she uploaded, I believe, this morning. And then y'all can search through her channel because she actually has a lot of information. From what I'm gathering, it's her and a few other YouTubers. There's also apparently a private investigator that was hired by either the whole group or by just one of the YouTubers in this group. I'm not quite sure. But there's like a feud going on right now between YouTube Jeff, I think his name is, and Squirrel Girl. Because apparently he has released some information in like a very harassing way towards the two managers that Nick stated in his interview are claiming that not only does the footage not exist, but that Nick wasn't even there. Well, that's whenever I asked for, okay, well, show us the GPS. Well, then now we have the GPS. So now that they've gathered all this information and they've had this paid private investigator gather all this information, this YouTube Jeff guy has now released the names, the photos, and all this information on the two apparent managers that Nick was referring to. But that was apparently given to him in confidence, and it wasn't verified correctly or the way that it should have been verified. So there's like a whole thing going on, which I guess in these kinds of situations, because these are like the only voices talking about this right now, I'm sure it's pretty intense, and these kinds of arguments are going to happen. I don't personally connect with YouTube Jeff. I've tried to watch some of his videos. He doesn't get to the point fast enough for me. He talks and talks and talks and just doesn't get to the point. It took me forever to get through his last one about Nick and the AAA trucks and the cameras and all that stuff. So go ahead and find him on YouTube. Just search up YouTube Jeff if you want to look up his stuff that they've been apparently getting from private investigators that are being paid, allegedly. I don't know if any of this is true, guys. I just know that there's people actively trying to get the truth here. And we all know that something is shady as hell in the KIELY Rodnni case. So this is interesting information, and this is what I was asking for. I just wish he would come out to someone who can put his face out there that could get Adventures with Purpose to step up. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in them at this point, in them as a whole at this point, especially since, you know, we know so much about how they've manipulated these families and things like that. So I don't know, but this was an interesting day so far. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that should be paid attention to? Is it something that was photoshopped? Is it all just this huge elaborate storyline that's being played out for weeks and weeks? Or is this like, whoa, the kind of cover-up stuff that we've heard about that we know damn well happens, but most people want to ignore? Let me know. See y'all.